Hello everybody, so it's now day 113 of our 1000 Dawns, and well, remember yesterday how I talked about how I had a 6 hour day at work, and I said I was going to make the most of those 6 hours. Oh boy howdy, was I going to be in for a bit of a surprise, because I literally did all of about 2 hours of work, and then they sent me home early. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I would have said it was one of those occasions where it wasn't even worth getting out of bed, but surprisingly enough, there actually is, and I'm gonna explain to you why. Because yes, it wasn't exactly what I really anticipated it being, but let's look on the positives for stuff like this. I got a load of videos edited last night. I even had the idea of doing a much more ambitious little project in about 2 or so years from now. It's gonna be a long one, so that's why I think. Well, to be honest, I'm gonna release it in about 2 years. Well, 2029, something like that. So I better get to work at some stage. And with all that being said, I run into an interesting situation where I have to ask the question, dear me, about what lies ahead for me. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what lies ahead for me. You see, from now up until my 3-day trip to London in 19 days' time, there is 100 hours of work in those 19 days. I think there's about 4 days off I have in the middle of all of that. So, yeah, it's a bit of a squeeze, so to speak, to fit 100 hours into 15 days. So, on average, how many is that? It's about, I think it works out to at least 8 hours each of those days. Of course, there are some days where they want me there for 10 hours. Some days they will want me there for 9. Yeah, I've noticed these shifts are starting, outside of getting more hours a week, I've also noticed the shifts I have at work are becoming longer and longer and longer and longer as well. Still, not to be honest, I don't really have much room to complain about that because, well, if I get paid for it, then so be it. And there's just this to consider. You know how I've talked about, saving up for Vegas? Well, think of it this way. I don't go anywhere. I don't really have anything really to spend on except, my bills, rent, and, everything else that isn't qualified as bills, such as, food and stuff like that. And to be honest, speaking of food, the 3-day supply of food that I actually managed to cook downstairs for myself. Do you know how much actually a 3 days worth of food actually you know how much that actually cost me to supply for 3 days? Less than £5. So again, surprisingly, just being a little bit thrifty and going a little distance, I could actually make food last for a significant amount of time, as it turns out. And I'm starting to realize that actually, to be honest, this is the sort of thing I should have been doing years ago anyway. But to be honest, better late than never, because I'm beginning to see for myself not only how easy it is to do it, but just what exactly I can come up with. Because as much as I love making my pasta, I also want to do things like, egg fried rice, something quite wholesome, quite nutritious. I'm eating more fruit, as just a part of the summertime and stuff like that. I eat more eggs, which are really, really good for trying to be able to lose weight. Because that's the other thing that's so coming into this, is that even though quite a lot of my shifts within those 100 hours I talked about are mostly going to be night shifts, I still need to be able to do some training here and there during the day. And tomorrow, for example, I don't start work until 8 o'clock at night, which means I can get to the gym about midday, 2 hours, have a bit of a rest, do what I need to do, and then set out for work fresh as a daisy. it seems as if I'm actually getting things in quite a nice, comely shape, so to speak. And yet, despite all that, it is still a pretty long journey, so to speak, and I am, however, conscious of many other things besides. And one of those things is the knowledge that, guess what? Yes, London is coming, but there is a long way before that. And, well, the work that's going to be laid out before me over the next couple of weeks is going to be daunting and very excessive. So there's a lot to unpack over the next couple of days, and there's only one other way of putting it. Now is absolutely the time to start. But just so everyone is clear and everyone's square, is that the next couple of weeks are going to be very telling. It's going to be a test of endurance and also just what I can really do in such amount of time. So that's just about all I've got to say on the agenda. And, well, that is just about that. That's the other little thing. It's starting to become clearer day after day. If I want to go from here all the way up there, guess what? The gradient is just that little bit steeper. And that should do just about that. Cheers.